Welcome to Marriage Matters, a midweek moment hosted by South Suburban Missionary Baptist Church, located at 15201 South Lexington in Harvey, Illinois, where our pastor is Dr. Annette Jones. Toss it up for our pastor. Marriage Matters we are the Barretts, Team Barrett, and we are the marriage ministry leaders for South Suburban Missionary Baptist Church. And we're just hosting a midweek moment, just expressing why marriage matters, or asking married couples why marriage matters. And if you guys have been seeing our shirts lately, today mine say hubby, hers say wifey, and it say hubby means to be with her, and wifey is to be with him. Yep. And so the people who make our shirts are the people who are we interviewing today, the Johnsons, Anthony and Angela Johnson. Let's welcome them. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone.
How are you guys?
Doing well. Blessed and highly favored.
That's good. These are, they don't know this, but they are a couple who have really inspired me growing up. Watching them be who they are really taught me how to be a husband. And so I just want to say I appreciate you guys, especially you, Anthony, showing me how to be a strong Black father figure in a husband role. So I appreciate you totally from the deepest part of my circumference of my belly, which is pretty deep. I do appreciate you, and I really mean that. You are a true inspiration to marriage, to the not only just marriage, but in a spiritual life as well. You know, you have always been that person. I can remember growing up, and I'm just giving you your flowers while you can smell them. And so, growing up, and I was with you know, I just remember listening to Juanita Bynum the whole time. You know, while we plowing snow, and it really set the stage for me as a young man to grow up and be able to love my wife the way I do. So, my hats off to you. I salute you, sir.
You're welcome. I just tried to be that God called me to be. It takes much prayer, much studying, much reading, much prayer. It's the most important part to any accomplished marriage, just in order to come together and learning the importance of forgiveness.
Yeah.
And continue to put the marriage and the family, the foundation in front as the most important part of the marriage. Is the foundation.
That's what's up. If you guys can you introduce yourself for us real quick? Who are you? I know I done told everybody that you Angela and Anthony Johnson, but give us a little history of who you guys are.
Deacon Anthony Johnson, the Victory International Ministry under Apostle C.L. White Jr., deacon in the church. I teach. My wife, Angela, she's the praise team leader. Sings in the choir, directs the choir. Doesn't matter. And
yeah, it's funny. I don't lead, thank God, but I do sing on the praise team and direct the choir.
And we've been married, 21?
21 years.
Man, that's a long time. Y'all grown in this thing. Y'all 21 now. Y'all grown in this thing. That's what's up. I remember y'all wedding like it was yesterday. It was pretty cool. You know, I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was dope. Question for you guys: does marriage matter, and why?
You want to answer that?
Yes, marriage matter. I think to understand, because God ordained marriage. Mm-hmm. And understand the part of the spiritual aspect as the man in the family, it's important that we understand the growth and maturity for the foundation, because marriage is the foundation of the church as well as in the household. Because honesty and truth working together, and understand just because the man is the head of the house, he is not to be the dominating force in saying that it's not my way or the highway. You got to be able to show some compassion and understand that learning to, I think God put opposites attracts because she's my strength and her weakness in a way. And God understands, and that's why marriage is so important to the family, the balance. And I think that's the most important part of the family, being part of marriage, understanding the balance of it.
Yeah. See, this is dope. This is why I'm super excited.
It's funny because we always talk about when God said, when it says in the Bible, he that finds a wife finds a good thing. And I'm his good thing. So where I'm strong, and where I'm weak, he's strong. So we balance each other. We have a very good balance. And that's what marriage is all about.
That's what's up.
So yes, marriage matters.
That's what's up. I knew that I was gonna get some good nuggets on this one because Anthony be so deep so much. This is why I be loving about having conversations with him because he gonna get you there. He gonna get you right. You got no choice but to be right with Anthony and Angie because y'all won, right? And so I agree with you guys. You cannot be the dominant force. It's not. You got to do it this way or that's it. It's not going to work that way. And so I truly agree with you on that part. I agree with everything that both of you guys say because as Tyler Perry says, she my goodin', right? This my goodin' right here. And so I understand that, and so I love the fact that, where, like you said, where I'm weak, she's strong and vice versa. Because if we both was the same, it wouldn't work, right? We had to balance each other out. One thing that I always say, Deacon Scott used to always say, like, love is like putting your foot on a rock, right? If you have both of your feet on a rock, there's no place for you to put your mate where your mate to put their feet on a rock. But if you put one foot and then your mate put their foot, and then y'all put your other foot on top of each other, you guys will balance each other out, and that's how love is supposed to be. That is so deep. I love that analogy because balance is the only way that a marriage can work. And so thank you for that nugget.
Yes,
do you express appreciation for the nice things your spouse does for you or the household?
Yes, I do. So as a wife, everything he does. My husband works very hard. He always take care of the house. We always say he's my priest, my protector, and my provider. So he care of us. So I treat him like the king that I feel like he is in my life. So like when we eat, he does not eat out of a paper plate. He does not eat out of plastic forks and paper cups. And people always say, I'm not going to wash you don't have to wash my husband's dish. I'm going to wash his dish. That's my husband. And that's my way of honoring him. And like the kids were laughing one time because we had bought a new couch and nobody could eat in the couch, taking pictures showing me dad is eating on the couch. And I said, because he's the king of this castle. He can eat on the couch if he liked because this is his castle. So I always do little things, just, little subtle things to show him the appreciation that I have for what he does for me and for our children. Because we have no children. So, and he does a great job with balancing the children and taking care of the children.
Yeah, and it's very important to show Angie her appreciation because doing housework, taking care of children, sometimes you can feel like your value, your worth is not value, or your opinion is not. And as a man, because we always gone a lot, and I hope that, I think the key word here, I think learning is a continuous learning process. Yeah. Because you continue learning each week from the age 20, 30, 40. Mm-hmm. Our expectations tend to change and we want a little more of this, a little less of this. Our opinion are stronger in our 20s and a little more graceful in our 40s. And, I think the important part is understanding how we be upset. Don't take the money and go throw it away. My philosophy always don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Always remember, you got to come home and responsibility and to be accountable, because you're always accountable to God, because He knows the intent. That's why I started off saying prayer is the most part, because I does make an effort every morning to pray on my way to work, and I sometimes I pray and in a ear while she's, because I like to think prayer is the weapon of our warfare, because life is a struggle, a continuous task, and it takes prayer to get to, because you do get on each other's nerves now. It ain't no hurry. There is days when sometimes silence is you learn to express your opinion more gracefully.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's some good stuff. That's what I talk about. Anthony be deep with these questions, boy. I love it. I love it. I try to show appreciation. Sometimes I go a little overboard, right? Because I feel like in the beginning of our marriage, we was freshly starting off, and I was freshly like kind of young, and so like I didn't know exactly how to show my appreciation. So I felt like, well, I'm gonna go buy her everything, right? So I was doing it in the wrong way. I was trying to buy her. I was trying to show her appreciation materialistically wise. And so what I've learned now as a wise young man, because I'm still young. I'm not. My body might tell me I'm old, but I'm still young. And so I've learned how to appreciate my wife a little bit better. And I think I'm doing good. I think I'm doing a little bit better. What you think?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm doing that. Like Anthony said, it's a growing thing. It's something that you learn as you progress in this journey, called marriage. And so we just got to make sure that we continue to just make sure that we acknowledge them and show them some type of appreciation. Right?
Yes, because I think as we get so busy sometimes, we're learning. At least I am learning to plan more date nights, movie nights.
Yeah.
Because I work 12, 14 hours, and sometimes all our children's in school sports, so we was always so busy with the kids, back and forth, basketball, baseball games. So but we took very little time for each other. And I think as we, over the course of time, we learning the importance of not pretty much all the children are out of the way. So we learning to make more personal time for each other.
Spending time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the process of understanding each other, raising a family, the balance.
Yeah. Spending time is the most important thing in marriage. So that's why you can show your appreciation. Spending time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we've been saying. And that's a good segment, a segue to our next question. What would you
consider a date night?
So what I consider a great date night, my husband took me to a place called the Shrine, which we walked through the footsteps of Jesus. And most people don't think of that as a great date night. For me, that meant so much because it was just me and him and God. And we walked through it and we enjoyed each other's presence. It didn't take a whole lot, just the spending time aspect with me, him, and God. And we just had a wonderful day. So to me, that would be my date night. Just something simple. It doesn't take a whole lot. It's something simple. And I know with my husband, sometimes he likes to watch. So a good date night, I would feel, would be watching a movie with him, maybe eating some popcorn. What do you think, babe?
Yes, I totally agree with you.
What's a good date night?
I'm learning to buy the roses in advance and planning, because she's the planner, I'm the worker. So whenever I said, what you want pretty much, and then I pretty much, going out to dinner, and she's pretty much my planner. I'm just the laborer. So we can have a good date night. I going out to dinner. That's pretty much I'm the simple guy.
Yeah.
I'm not into planning, but that's Angie's job. She's the planner.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, what do you all consider a date night? A great date night?
You go first.
Our time together, dinner, no kids around, a nice drive downtown.
That's it.
Just anything as long as we're doing it together. Yeah, so that's a nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Spending time.
So for me, a great date night is anything, like she said, anytime that we could just spend it with each other, alone time with each other. Long as it's not requiring us to watch like a movie or anything like that, because your boy ain't gonna make it through a movie, and she know that. No matter how hard I try.
5 minutes.
That's all you can get out of me. I'll make it through the beginning credits, and I'm out. I'm out. But that's something that it would have to be something like a matinee for us to go to a matinee in order for us to catch a movie, and I fully stay awoke through it because it's hard. It's really, really, really hard. And I know, Anthony, you mentioned that you work a lot, and so I do as well. Yes. And so I guess my question to you would be, are you preoccupied with the thoughts of work even on your days off and vacation?
No, I have to, because I am a truck driver, no. Because after I spend 12 to 14 hours a day in that truck, when I come home, I pretty much just turn off my mind for because in the last 3 years or so, we've been doing a lot more traveling.
Yes.
We've been going down to Texas. We went down to Tampa, Florida. So that's what. So when we get away, we have learned now that the kids are going. We have really learned how to get away, and then enjoy each other. So that's pretty much just enjoy the remainder of our day. God bless. Because Angela made some shirts living our best life.
Yeah.
Going down to Tampa, going to the beach, really. I said, man, be so in basketball gym, baseball field for so long. I said, man, we really been missing out.
Yeah.
So we learn to experiment more, date with each other, just enjoying the good things, the pretty much the simple things, and cost effective at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Mrs. Johnson?
That's a little bit more difficult for me.
I know, because you work from home.
Because I am newly, yes, I was going to say I'm newly into my own business. So within the last couple of years, I've been doing my own business. So literally, everywhere I go, I'm talking about my business or doing something with my business. Like when we was in Tampa, he was outside on the balcony, and somebody sent me an email, and I was like, oh, I need to email them back because I'm just always working. So I'm learning that balance of, okay, no, you got to learn to shut it off. You got to learn to separate the two. I have to learn to enjoy him when we have our vacation time, and don't let work interfere.
Yeah, I think I'm.
But we're working on it.
Because I just started school at the beginning of the school year, and I'm constantly in my phone, on my computer, doing work. And now I've learned that I need to separate the two from each other so I can be able to enjoy him fully.
Yeah. So I guess now my recent job as the fire chief, I cannot it's hard for me not to think about work. One, now we done bought the house across the street from work, so we hear it all the time, right? And so not only that, so it's hard. And then my phone going off, my pager going off constantly.
Yeah.
And so it's hard. But So like this weekend that just passed, we celebrated our anniversary, right? And so we were out,
Happy
and she had to
anniversary.
make sure. Thank you. So she made sure she took her schoolwork with her, right?
The whole bag, computer books,
everything. So I'm like, I know that this is something that she loves right now. She's really like into her schoolwork and very proud because let me tell you, my boo just made the dean's list, right? And so she's really into this. And so I have to support her and show my support to her. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing when we working, even on our off days and vacation, but you still got to make that time for each other. One question that I would ask from you guys is, how was it coming into a blended family? How did you guys adapt it coming into a blended family?
So coming into a blended family, it's a blessing, first of all. And everybody does not do it well. I feel like we did it very well because we put God first. We treat all the children as if they were our children. One thing we don't believe in is stepchildren. We don't believe, oh, that's my stepson. Oh, that's my stepdaughter. We don't believe. They're all my children. And if any one of them call me at any time of the day or the night, I'm on my way because those are my children. And I feel privileged that gave me the love that I have for all of my children. You know, he entrusts me to take care of them and to do what's right by them. And I take that serious. I take it serious. And so I think that's one of the things that kind of helped with the blended family, because when we have children, we have 5 boys and 2 girls. So when you have all of the children, somebody is going to be out of pocket. Something's going to happen with somebody at some point in time. Like he just said earlier, everybody was playing basketball. Some of them was playing baseball. Some of them was playing football. Some of them played volleyball. We had a sports family thanks to Dad. I always joke and say they got it from me, but they didn't. But what we did, we made sure, like if 2 people had a game the same time, Dad would go at one, I would go at one. But we always made sure that we represented. And so I think sometimes when you have a blended family, you just have to make sure that you treat all of the children the same. Well, and I shouldn't say the same. You treat them fair, because you can't treat them the same because everybody needs a different level of loving.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes, because when you're coming into a blended family, I think one of the most important part as the parent is learning character of your child.
Yes.
Because each of them got a different personality. And then you're learning how to meet them at their level of character, and how to discipline at the same time, how to be firm and loving at the same time, and how to learning to communicate, because some accept, some reject. And then when you, as a parent, when they don't go your way, how do you your rejection? Do you scream, holler, and feel like you got all these suffer? And I always took the philosophy of, I would tell Angie, I would let them think that, I don't know what my children, each of them maybe some of them they never get a hit. The threat, because I used to tell all the time, like they getting up going to school in the morning, they don't want to get up. If I just show with a big one time, I'll tell lit. They understand the next time Dad is coming. So, I would have to put a little fear up to let them know that Daddy will, even though I didn't have to, but I always may think that I will.
Right.
So even, and the thing is, the important part is because they need structure.
Yeah.
How do you give them structure? And how do you give them the foundation for a blended family? Because, the other parent from the other side has an opinion also. How do they communicate with the other mother and father?
That's right.
And then bringing it in the communication between you and the mother and father. all of that plays a big part in raising the blended family coming together. Because I think, I'm a firm believer. I don't want to talk bad about their father, have her talking bad about their mother.
That's right.
Because they don't forget that. And that can create more conflict in the family than anything.
That's right.
It's the value of how to communicate and express yourself, even when you're mad at them or you disagree with the other parent. Because there is days when disagreement with or different of opinion, how to discipline a child does happen. And I think sometimes the most important part is not to be so abrasive.
That's right.
Is how to find the middle ground, the balance. That's the most important part. Learning how to find the middle ground.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to say that his ex-wife and my ex-husband, we have a really good relationship. All four of us. It's no animosity. We don't talk bad about them. They don't talk bad about us. It's just a great relationship. And everybody, unfortunately, does not have. But everybody should strive for that, because I believe that helped in making the transition of a blended family much better.
I agree 100%.
Yes,
so
that is probably.
Yeah, I agree.
Ahead,
so
Steph.
one thing that we did, what we talked about was, when we got married, my wife had 2 children already. And so I always, just growing up, you always see like baby daddy drama and all that. And so one prayer that I always prayed to God was that, like, God, I don't want to live that type of lifestyle. I don't want to have no issues. I want to live a drama-free life, drama-free marriage, all of that, right? And so in the beginning, I remember the first time that I met the children's father, the first thing he said was, I wanted to see the man that my kids spoke highly of. I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is working out good. I was like, thank you, God. This is working so far, right? And so one thing is, like, I agree with you. Like, I've never, ever called my children my stepchildren, ever. And it's funny sometimes is that people say, oh, your daughter looks like you. I be thinking in my head, like, oh, okay. But growing up, it's this weird coming out of my mouth, but my stepfather, I never called him my stepfather. He never, like, you wouldn't be able to tell that this man wasn't my biological father. Like, you would not be able to tell.
That's right.
And so, like, he took me in, like, and then our family, like, his side of the family, like, you wouldn't be able to tell that we wasn't blood. Like, we didn't have the same blood running through our veins, right? You would not be able to tell. Mind you that you are my cousin, right? And so, like, growing up, like, you never ever.
I'm your cousin.
Yeah, favorite cousin. Yes, correct. Favorite cousin. And people like, even like your children, I think it was like a year ago, they was like, wait, Uncle B ain't your real dad? They was distraught, like they didn't even know.
Exactly.
And now they're grown, right? And so I believe that's how you should live as a blended family. You should be able to, like, the step is nothing. A step is something you step on. I never ever want to feel like I'm stepping on them or stepping over them. They matter, right? Just like marriage matters, their lives matter to me. Not only did I marry their mom, but I married them as well. And so you have to create that lifestyle to where, especially when they're young, right? Because they don't know no better. And so if you treat them with the respect and that they deserve, everything will work so smoothly. So smoothly. I love my family. Like, you and me, nobody be able to tell. You know, they be looking at me like, how you guys, how many grandkids? Yeah, 6 of them. You wouldn't be able to tell it. You know what I mean? And
That's
so
right.
it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. What advice would you give?
Good thing. And that's supposed to be.
Yeah. What advice would you give yourself if you could start over?
Ooh, now that's a hard question. Hey, because I did such a good job from the last time. Yeah, but on the for real side, I think more. What advice would I give myself again, I think I probably would do more one-on-one time with the children because some of the product, I think, because in it coming into, we all have an expectation, but then when certain behavior, certain things don't meet your expectation, you kind of wondering how do you approach to bring a resolution to it. And I think the thing, if I had to do it over again, that probably learning to spend more time with the girls one-on-one, learning the boys individual and still, because by us all sports, we did so much as a group.
Right.
And I think
I agree.
Giving each of them more one-on-one time, because all of them need a little more, some needed a little less. And I think that's one of the advice I would give myself is the ones that needed a little bit more, maybe I would have if I just understood that they needed a little bit more versus, because I always have been more of I want you to tell me the truth. I can handle the truth. And I want to be truthful with me because mom and dad going to be on your side. But the thing is, I cannot have you lying to me. Because on your side, then I find out you lying, now you in trouble. And I think that's the most important thing, that learning how to handle disagreement, different of opinion, especially with teenagers. You're learning how to approach them, because they do stuff and you don't find out until you later. We have all because they tell me stuff now that I didn't have a clue they was doing.
Right.
Yeah, especially when they snuck out with the car and they almost had an accident. They were joking together. Like, oh yeah. So certain things, but grace of God allow us to. I can laugh about it.
Make it through,
They know Daddy didn't play. So I had to put some fear in them to make them think Daddy gonna go off the handle. So to keep them in check.
See, I was the nice one, so I was kind of like the pushover mama. I would always try to smooth over with Dad so that they wouldn't get in trouble. But if I had something to tell myself to go back over, what I would do was I wouldn't take so many things to heart. I used to take a lot of things to heart, and I had a little chip on my shoulder for a while because I really had an issue with Mr. Johnson because he's very brash with some of the things that he say. And, I used to tell him all the time, you just hurt my feelings. You just always hurt my feelings. He said, but I wouldn't have such a chip on my shoulder where everything would affect me. I would take it in the love that he was giving it versus always letting my feelings be in the forefront, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because, I think in a situation like that, because I'm an introvert, Angie is an extrovert.
Yes.
She talks more and I listen more. And, she say words, then I guess sometimes where she may feel like I'm more brash. It's because I use less words, so I really think about what I want to say, but sometimes it don't come out. She like to call it sugar, sugar-coated.
Make me feel good.
I guess all the sugar-coated is too many words. But you learn how to use the more words that are more comfortable to get the results, as you say.
Yeah. For us,
I don't care how you get it done.
You get it done.
Yeah. For me, I would tell myself to find her sooner. To locate her quicker. Only because my life became complete once I found her. It made everything that much better. So I think I would tell myself to find her sooner.
Oh, that's a blessing.
Well, I done got on that one. Brownie points for me.
I was just like, she can't even say something. Look at her.
She can't talk. I got her. She didn't even know that was coming out. Final question, though.
You didn't know that one was coming.
No. what advice would you give to newlyweds or engaged couples?
You want to say it?
If I was giving advice, newlywed or engaged, I think learning how to communicate with each other, to each other, learning each other's love language, because coming to a marriage, a female each has different love language. And learning each other's love language and learning how to communicate is so very important.
Yeah.
How to express your disagreement, how to express your opinion without feeling like you got to be so over the top. Even though, men tend to feel as though in our way, because we pay the bills a lot of times, we may feel like I want this done or that done. But I think the important part is learning, because more or less the woman's take care of the house. We at work and learning how to, I think this, Mel said this 2 times, communicating and not taking it to heart. And I try my best never to be mad more than a day. I'm just not a mad. Angela may think I'm mad sometimes, and I always tell her, what bother you? Don't bother me.
He said that a lot.
Because I'm just not, I don't stay. I just sit long. She may think I do. The kids may think they do because I got that stern look. I got that poker face. They may think I'm mad, but I have them better. But I'm really not, because communication is so very important.
Yeah,
it's so very important to a long-term relationship. It's so very important. I think, and prayer and communication, those 2 steps you cannot go wrong.
That's right.
And learning the importance of forgiving each other, because mistakes going to happen. Words will be said from time to time.
Yeah.
And don't make it a habit of hurting feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know one doing something that hurt the other one's feeling, then stop.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to talking about your mate to other people. That's not a good way to start a marriage.
That's right.
You and the mate has to understand the most important part of the marriage is each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the foundation of the house. That's the foundation of the house. Dwell in unity, prayer. The other fella, he do his job.
Yes.
Don't worry, he do his job. You know who the other fella is, don't you?
Yeah.
He do his job. So, that's my opinion.
So if I had to give advice to a newlywed, I would always say, when you're having problems, seek godly counsel. It's easy to tear down your mate. It's easy to do that, but you don't need to tear them down. You need to build them up. Build up your mate. And if you all have children, build up your children. Sometimes everything don't need to be said. Ooh. And sometimes it's not what you say, it is how you say it.
Yeah.
So, I heard a minister say, she was today, and she said this, that silence can never be misquoted or misunderstood.
Ooh.
And when she said that, I was like, wow, because she's right. Sometimes if you don't have nothing good to say, my mom used to say all the time, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah.
And in marriage, something's better to be quiet until you all can come to a good place to say something good. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, my advice to a newlywed couple to seek godly counsel if you do have a problem, and be able to communicate with one another in the best possible. Because one thing we do, we talk a lot. I do most of the talking, but when we have an issue, we get a chance to sit down and talk about it. He always tell me, okay, I'll get back to you. And then once he ration it out in his mind or think about it, we come together and we try to get us into whatever our problem is. Whether it takes a day or it might take just an hour, but we try to make sure that we do what's best for the house. Literally, we try to do what's best for the house.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
That is some really, really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. And that's the best part. Like I tell people all the time, when we are in our communication, you definitely got to learn the love language. you know, how your spouse love language is. And so, like, for one thing, I know my wife loves her dog to death, right? So what I do is, and this is just like the smallest thing, how little things can be taken and mean so much to that person. Like, her dog is very picky with food that he eats. So I will go out and go to like 6 different stores to find his food that her dog like and come home with it. And it puts the biggest smile on her face. You know, and so it's the littlest things that you do that shows your spouse, you know, like, hey babe, I was thinking about you. Yeah, this is appreciation, you know. Thank you for making sure I got food on the table, so I'll make sure your dog eat tonight, right? And so it's just the littlest things. It's just the littlest things that takes your relationship to that next level. Communication is the key. There's no such thing as perfect communication, but the fact that you're trying to communicate is what makes the relationship perfect. And so you just got to make sure that you are talking to your spouse and loving on your spouse and just making sure that, you know, you guys are with one accord. So, well,
absolutely.
We truly thank you guys for being here with us today. And commercial break. If you guys like any of the shirts that you guys seen us wearing, whereas the today's shirts, the hubby and wife, last week's shirts, the ones that got boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, husband, wife, or the first shirts, feel free to contact Angela Johnson for your shirts, any type of shirts that you need. She gets the good stuff. And if you mention Stephen, you're still gonna pay the same price, but just tell her Stephen sent you. But if you guys like any of the shirts, if your church need any shirts or anything like that, make sure you reach out to Angela Johnson. You can find her on Facebook as well as Sow and Seed. That's the name of it? Did I say that right?
Sow and Seeds. Yes, Sow and Seeds.
Sow and Seed.
Sowing. SEWING.
Yep. SEWING.
Like sowing. SEWING. That's right.
You guys will not be disappointed. And wait till you guys see our shirts next week. They're pretty dope. I don't know if you guys are ready for what we got next week. She ain't even seen them yet, but just hearing Dr. Johnson talk about my shirt already, I'm excited. So any of your shirts needs or anything like that, reach out to Angela Johnson. And again, thank you guys for joining us this week. And we pray favor over your marriage and over your lives and over all 50 of your children's lives. And that God continue to truly bless you guys abundantly, above all that you could think or even imagine, according to his word. And so thank you guys, and we love you guys. God bless.
Love you.
You're welcome. God bless. God bless.